everyone, I'm Olivia and welcome back to another video. This video is going to be a quick tutorial on how you can figure out which hair colors in Royale High will look the best on your avatar based on your skin tone, your undertones, and a few other things. And to do this, we're going to be discussing the different types of skin tones, the difference between warm, cool, and neutral undertones, and actually taking a look at specific hair colors that'll look the best with these different shades. And just a quick disclaimer before we get started, throughout the video you'll see my avatar using different skin tones ranging from white to black. This is purely for the sake of the video itself and just so I can show off these different shades and what hair colors look the best with them. So without further ado, let's get started with the tutorial. So our first step is to look at the 4 basic skin types, which are fair, olive, medium, and dark. And as you can imagine, there are so many countless more shades in between all of these. These are just the broad terms we use to describe the 4 main ones. And we're going to be taking a look at the individual colors that contrast or complement these skin tones, as well as determining the difference between neutral, cool, and warm undertones. So to start off, we have our fair skin tone, and on the left is our cool undertone, and on the right is our warm. I'm not going to be talking too much about neutral in this video just because it's very broad and it can range from really cool to warm in each skin type. So to look at our cool undertone for our fair skin, we'll notice that the color of the skin is a lot less saturated than the one on the right. It has more blues in it than yellows and reds, and you'll notice that the hair itself also has less yellows and reds in it and more of a light blue. And if your avatar does have a cool undertone or a lighter shade of fair skin, you want to make sure that you're choosing hair colors that have more blues than red colors in them. So you want whatever shade you're going with to be less saturated. So as you can see with this avatar on the left, the hair is a lot more like icy blonde, platinum than the one on the right, which is very bright yellow. The reason we want to stick to less saturated blue-based shades for fair skin with cool undertones is because we want those shades to complement one another. I know that in real life we think like, oh, I want this color hair because it'll contrast with my skin tone and make it really pop. But we have to remember when we're playing a game like Royale High, our avatars are flat in their color. They don't have undertones, they don't have veins, they don't have these different colors that we have in the real world. So we're just going to stick to hair shades that complement our skin as a whole. And when we're looking at blonde hair for fair skin with cool undertones, like I said, we want to stick to less saturated colors of blonde, like platinum, icy, champagne blonde, and other shades like that, staying away from more saturated yellowy orange shades like the one on the right. So as you guys can see, I've switched the hairs to show you the difference in the way these tones look on our different undertones. So the yellow saturated hair is now on our cool undertone, and the yellow in the hair is completely clashing with the blue in our paler skin tone. And for our warm undertone, the blue in the hair is clashing with the yellow pink in the skin. So it's important to stick to paler or warmer depending on your skin tone for blonde. And now when we're looking at reds, when we're doing our cool skin tone, we want to make sure that our reds are not leaning towards the orange or the bright saturated side. I know it sounds really weird, but the less red your red color is for your cool undertone, the better it's going to look. And pretty much the opposite with our warm undertone. The more saturated and bright orange it is, the better it's going to look with the peachier color of skin. So when we go look at brown or brunette, the same thing holds true. The darker and less bright and saturated our brown is for our cool undertone, the better it will look. And likewise, we want our brown for our warm undertone to be more caramel color and really go well with that warm tone. And I've actually made like a big chart for you guys showing the actual specific hair colors that I went through and found that would look the best with cool undertones and warm undertones. And remembering that neutral will look good with both of these, so if you pick a skin tone that is not really too cool, not really too warm, you're good with either of these. Feel free to screenshot this, save it, do whatever you want. I encourage you to use these colors as you may. And now we're going to actually move on to our olive skin tone. And as you can see, there's going to be a pretty common pattern among these. The cool undertone is going to be less saturated than our warm undertone that has more reds and yellows in it. So when we look at these avatars, the one on the left, for our brunette color, the color is darker and not as caramelly as the one on the right. And we want to make sure we're sticking to darker shades of brown like chocolate brown or mocha or even a warm black. And with our warm undertones, we want to stick to deep gold colors or even caramel or ebony type of colors. And a fun color you can do with olive skin tone is purple. On our cool undertone side, you can see that our color is leaning towards more of a blue or indigo, and our warm undertone is more of a true saturated purple. And once again, I'm going to show you guys a chart of some colors that would look great with olive skin tones, ranging from blonde, brunette, red, purple, and black. So now we're going to move on to our medium skin tone. So here's an example of the medium skin tone with cool versus warm undertones, and as you'll notice here, I've chosen to put blonde on these two avatars. And for our medium skin tone, the colors range from blonde to about orange. We don't really go up to pure red, we don't really go up to black or any extreme colors, because these warm colors do tend to look the best on both of our undertones. And when we're looking at blonde to brunette colors for our cool undertones, we want to choose colors like ashy blonde, sandy blonde, wheat blonde, beige, or walnut brown. And for our warm undertones, we want colors like golden caramel, butterscotch, or tawny blonde. And when we're looking at cool undertoned red/orange colors, we want to go for more of an auburn or cinnamon type of shade. And for our warm undertones, we want a copper or a more golden red, which is more saturated. So here's our little color guide for the medium skin tone. We go all the way from blonde to brunette and orange. And now we're going to move on to our last skin tone, which is dark. So our dark skin tone actually has pretty much the most variety among our 4 skin tone types, with our cool undertones going from like a dark brown to even some purple shades. And our warm undertones actually start with some blonde colors going to light brown and even warm shades of black. And if we want to get more specific, our cool undertone colors for dark skin tone would be like chocolate brown, espresso brown, or even an inky black color. If you want to use a hair with highlights in it, make sure you use hairs with cool hues like platinum blonde, bluish red, or violet brown. And with our warm undertones, if we want a blonde color, we would use caramel blonde, toffee blonde, or if we want a brown or brunette, we would do mahogany, maple brown, or toffee, and we can even do a warm black. So here's our last color chart for dark skin tone. We have our blonde colors going all the way up to brunette, red, and even black tones. And this is pretty much the end of the video. I hope you guys were able to follow along, learn some more about what skin tone you might be, as well as what specific hair colors in Royale High would best complement your specific skin type. If you guys enjoyed this, please let me know. If you want a tutorial similar to this, but with like more unnatural or dyed colors, please let me know that as well. So as always, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day, and I'll see you later, guys. Bye!